Alright, the action continues. Now, one of my goals for the last month or so was to find and destroy one CNC carrier. I wasn't really lucky with that. I missed I missed 4 or 5 of them. But yesterday I got the chance to shoot at one. No, I didn't get a kill, which is fine. I honestly did not expect to get a kill. Didn't have the right ship at the right time, but I think I still did everything I could, and I did hold the target for as long as possible. So that goal has been kinda achieved, but I still want to destroy one myself. So that is still open, and hopefully I do get the chance to destroy one of these ships. After all, they're high sec ships. They can enter high sec. They can enter low sec. So there is a chance that they can fly through 6C sometime, or they don't necessarily have to go through 6C. There's also other systems where they can be caught at. So and that's basically what happened with this CNC care that you will see today. I also like how all of the good action started last weekend, basically around the time when my revelation was jumped. It's still hilarious though. Still hilarious how that played out. A lot of you guys have seen that, and it was honestly fun. I still say that it was definitely one of the most exciting moments that I experienced in the game. And this is the revelation that got jumped. This little boat's still alive, and I don't have any nanocore for it. I may buy one. I'm not entirely sure. Kind of wish that the sleeper skin was a nanocore. Although I believe if the Dreadnoughts had the sleeper nanocore, that would be kind of ridiculous. Currently, let me just show you the one and only nanocore that I can get on this thing. Where is it? Amar Dreadnought. So it's this one, but as you can see, yeah, it is quite expensive. It was 4 billion and was 3 billion at one point, but I didn't buy it when it was cheap. That was my mistake. I should have bought it when it was 3 billion, but I never really thought that I would need it. I mean, I still don't need it. I kind of wish that there was a sleeper core for this thing, but unfortunately there isn't, or fortunately there isn't. I don't know. Perhaps a sleeper core would be a little bit too much. After all, you can imagine what kind of monster I would be able to create if I had that extra damage control. And speaking of one extra damage control, now there's one module that I want to buy. Let me just find it. It's a new damage control that I'll quickly show here. Damage control, basic capital, emergency hull energizer. Now it has a passive and a active mode. The passive basically will give you plus 15% on all damage types, on basically shield, armor, and hull. Meanwhile, the normal damage control, which I have on this ship, does increase about 8.64%. Now, I've heard that you can use both of these modules on the same ship, since they're technically two different modules. So you can use a damage control and you can use a capital emergency damage control. Now there are two differences. The normal damage control, basically once activated, it increases all resistances on shield, armor, and hull by 800% once activated, and it has a cooldown. It lasts 13 seconds, and you can basically use it as much as you like. Now this module here is a single-use module, which means activation structure damage 100%. Once you activate it, it destroys itself. Basically, it burns out and it's useless. So you have to replace it. You can't repair it. You have to reprocess and build a new one, which is one of the main differences. Now it lasts 30 seconds. However, the versatile assault ships and the super carriers have a bonus on that module, and in their case it lasts up to 3 minutes. On the dreadnoughts you don't have that. On the dreadnoughts you don't have that. You basically only get 30 seconds of activation time. Now, I also like how it says the activation delay 1200 seconds. It doesn't have any reactivation delay. You click on it, once the effect goes out, it doesn't work anymore. And it only increases the structure resistance by 95%. So you have 33% by default on all ships. When you activate this, it will give you plus extra 95, which in return should give you about 97-98% resistance once all the math is applied. So it basically gives you immortality for 30 to 180 seconds. Again, it depends on what ship you use this module. So a very interesting module, and it has also a sensor strength adjustment, 100%. So it can also only fit it to capital ship, and this module will be no longer usable once destroyed. Now, there is none of them on market right now, but I want to get one. I want to get one because my unique situation. I want to create a even tankier revelation. So that's definitely one module that I am going to be using, and it will be replacing the capacitor battery, which should give me passive 96-97% armor resistance on top of what I already have. So yeah, I'll have 97% or perhaps even 98, or in some cases 99% armor resistance on the revelation without activating anything, and the damage tool, and then this one can be used as panic buttons for emergencies, which, you know, might actually be a smart idea to use since this ship is extremely salty. And since I'm already buying those modules, I actually pulled out the integrations that I am going to be reworking, and I'll be changing the build on the revelation. Basically, my goal is to enhance the tank on this thing even more. So on top of that, if I get the nanocore, I will pick. Let me just take a quick look at what the nanocore can give me. If it gives me extra armor, I'm picking extra armor on this thing, but it's not entirely sure what I'll do with it. 19 yeah, I'm taking armor. That's decided. If I buy that nanocore, I am going with the armor bonus on it. Alright, well, my apologies for the long intro. There are some things that I want to cover. I'll be covering the super capitals when I get my hands on them, so you can expect super capital guide videos very soon. And well, and of course the other new stuff included. So with that being said, it will be time to undock and let's let the games begin. Let's blow up some ships. Alright, well, time to go and engage that carrier. Now, this is one of the moments where I kinda wish that I have 2 or more capitals, just because of situations where one of these ships can pop in. But I have a Megathon Striker. In this case, I went full armor passive with the thermal circulation implant, because my goal is to try and hold the carrier for as long as possible. Now, I don't expect to tank this thing, but my goal is to hold for as long as I can. So, there's the carrier. My friend scrambled it, siege mode on, and let's open fire. Now they seem to be using the capital missile launchers. Now I am trying to take distance, just in case if they have some scramblers and webs, because eventually I expect that that thing will start shooting at me. Now my friend is DPS build, I am a tank build, and seems like they also have the decentralized module, as you can see based on the fighters that they
Shield
that they
damaged.
have based on the effects that you can see. And there goes my shield. Damage control was activated, and now I'm trying to hold for as long as possible, aligning myself towards that belt. Okay. More
We're
ships
under
popping
attack.
in. That's good. I'll stay until low armor.
We're under
Now the
attack.
passive tank actually holds quite well. If we had a logistic ship, then this would definitely be much easier. I would actually be able to tank it if we had the logi, but we don't have
Warp
that.
drive
And
active.
well, time for me to warp out. Okay, more of our ships warped in. My job was mostly successful, although not happy with myself that I didn't have a proper ship for this. I had the idea to use a tanky Abaddon, active tank Abaddon, but did not assemble it. But after this happened, I will definitely assemble a tackle Abaddon, or perhaps even a super tanky tackle Hyperion with triple armor repairers, because I already have a Hyperion with a nanocore. It already repairs a lot, so that might be well, not exactly a replacement for the Abaddon, but definitely another option. Now I'm waiting for the command to warp back in, waiting to see what's happening. My friends are, well, the Apocalypse Strikers were definitely there fighting with the carrier, and currently waiting to see what happens in the chat. I think that they're still keeping it pointed down, and after a while, well, the carrier did get destroyed. It was excellent team play. In the end, it did go almost according to plan. Well, I say almost. I think I didn't do well. I could do better. I say I didn't do well because if I had the right ship, then I would definitely be able to last much longer. But I had to work with what I had at the moment. And well, this is how the wreck of the ship looks. I expected the wreck to look a bit different, but it looks like this. This is the CyanSea wreckage. And surprisingly, it is still not looted, so I'll be guarding the wreck until it does get collected. It dropped about 2.5 billion in loot, with fighters included, with the large torpedo launchers included, with the capital torpedo launchers included. So overall, a pretty solid loot drop, honestly. A really solid loot drop and a fantastic catch. Definitely one of the most expensive ships that I had the chance to shoot at, and of course, it was very fun. And definitely a very fun experience. Now, did I expect to tank that for a very long time? Well, not exactly. I mean, it's a carrier. It has a lot of DPS, and they did have the damage mod, so they definitely had some pretty good DPS. But for next time, I'll definitely be more prepared, since I'll be getting a tackle Abaddon or a tackle Hyperion for that purpose, so that I can tank that thing for a very long time.
Warp drive
And
active.
I already have a ship that I can use for that purpose, so I'll be modifying the rigs a little bit to make it even tankier, and then I'll have a proper battleship that I can use against a carrier like that, or I'll have two of them. Might go to the Abaddon back, we will see. Now, next target, we have one Vindicator. This was a perfect warp in. Okay, barrage on, gyro stabler is on, let's open fire. Drones are out. Webbed and scrambled. The Vindicator is now into armor, into hull, and the Vindicator has been destroyed. I did some nasty damage to that ship. That Vindicator felt like paper. We did some nasty hits on that thing. You could see the impact, the damage that was impacting the ship was pretty good. Not really sure if that's
Warp
because I
drive
also did
active.
upgrade the Macari a little bit. I always try to upgrade my ships as much as possible. And so far that seemed to be the the way to go. And yes, I still haven't repaired the game client. That's why you can see the asteroid belts follow me everywhere I go. What kind of build is this? What is this? Look! Look! Rapid missiles! Cruise missiles! A hybrid tank! Oh my Jesus Christ! Who built the ship like that? What did I just... Am I drunk? Hold a second. Nope, I'm not drunk. Oh my god, this is... Yeah, looks like I'll have to create the how not to build your ship video that I used to do, but I didn't have enough time to continue. I guess I'll have to do it again. And I'll be doing a drinking game for every hybrid tank that I see. That's good. That's definitely not going to end well. I can tell you that much. That's not going to end well. Alright, well, next target we have one Raven. Now I picked this time I'm solo. My friends are at work or sleeping, so I don't want to wake them up or disturb their work. So I'll just go and engage this Raven solo. If it were a carrier, I would ping and they would immediately log in to kill that thing. That's just how it goes. When there is a juicy ship, we all drop the work, we all stop driving, we pull out the side of the road and log in. It's a very interesting thing that happens in this game, and I had the chance to experience that a lot of times. It's honestly really interesting how that works. Unique to this game actually. I do the same as well. I do drop the work or stop driving if I get a ping to log in. Of course, I do it safely at the side of the road. There's plenty of places where you can safely park.
We're under attack.
And of course, the NPC ships feel bad about the Raven, so they go after me. This happens all the time. It is very funny because, yeah, also kind of annoying at the same time when this happens. But in any case, there goes the Raven. Perfect. Let's loot the wreck and then let's sort out. This was decent loot. C-type missile launchers. Perfect. That was about 40 million ISK. I mean, 40 million by 40 million, and eventually it will be 400 million. So I'll take it. Every ISK is good ISK. I'm not complaining.
Warp drive active.
Since my main source of ISK is mostly from PvP nowadays, although I'm thinking about doing exploration as well again. I haven't done exploration in a very long time. And high-sec PvE is also quite relaxing with the carrier. I might actually open a live stream again very soon. Depends on my internet, of course, but yeah, I'd open a live stream again. Mostly because I really enjoy live streaming. 563 million. That was a decent catch. Decent ISK and decent catch. Next targets. I am in the Kaloki Cinnabon. This is one of the most hilarious ships that I have at the moment. We have a Drake, I believe. That's the next target. I mean, I don't know which one I'll fly, honestly. Like, I don't know. It's still a very tough decision for me to make. I like all of them. And at this rate, I might actually decide to keep all of them. I thought about selling my spacepan. I don't really fly the spacepan, mostly because that thing is a flying heart attack. And I don't know. There are some ships that I've used to fly expensive ships in the past, but I never could get used to the spacepan. Not really sure why that's the case.
Warp drive active.
Mostly because it's probably paper and has literally no tank. And it's a very easy ship to lose if you're not careful enough. But I flew more expensive ships, but I don't know. Actually, no, it's a Gila. It wasn't a Drake. My apologies. And this Gila was a little bit too fast. Basically, When we landed,
We're
that's the
under
moment where
attack.
they started to align, and we did miss the target, unfortunately. It was just a little miscalculation, it happens sometimes, not a big deal. Happens from time to time. Although, we already killed 250 billion today, so I would say it's still a pretty good win. Alright, we have another Raven. I'm warping back. I actually use my Stratius to scan this time around, because my
Docking
Astro
request
ran out of
accepted.
fuel, and I just never have enough time to... Actually, I always forget to go to YEET to get fuel, which is hilarious, because the Astro is a much better scanner than the Stratius. I have very good skills on the Astro. The Astro is a much better scanner than the Stratius. It has better rigs for it, and overall very specialized for scanning. Although it can also do exploration,
Undocking.
but my Astro is currently mostly used for combat scanning to find the target. After all, that's one of the best ships that can get the job done without alerting targets. And let's swap to the Raven at 0. I will get the Death Vision record for the Macariel, by the way. I'll just not sure when. I probably when I have enough ISK for that.
Warp
But so
drive
far,
active.
even with this current build, I think I was doing really well. Haven't really experienced any problems with the Macariel with this build. It does require a bit more accuracy, does require a bit more planning, but it's still a very solid ship for this job. Okay, there's the Raven. Let's approach. I used to run quadrilateral stabilizers, but not anymore. Now this is basically what I run most of the time. Just because, you know, that extra resistance is very helpful in some cases. Opening fire. Gyro stabilizers are well, spun up, I guess. Scrambled, webbed, and I have been scrambled. The NPC ships feel bad for the Raven, as usual. This is the classic, this happens all the time. The Raven lost shield, now the Raven is in armor. They're boosting shield, but that's not going to work. Now the Raven is in low armor. They are now in hull. I am still scrambled, but that's not a big deal. Okay, Raven is in very low hull, and there we go. Raven killed. Let's loot. And let's warp out. I always like when you warp in and everything starts to aggro you immediately. That's the most annoying thing about this. Like, yeah, that's literally the most annoying thing about it. Everything starts shooting at you the second you land, which gives a good advantage to the pilot that runs the mission, because then if the pirate gets webbed and scrambled, you can run, or you can basically kill the pirate, I guess. Kinda works both ways. A little bit less noticeable if you are flying a kite ship and if you warp at distance, but last time my Ortus got scrambled by a elite Dominix, so yeah, that was pleasant. That was the worst warping that I've ever done. And the Raven actually escaped, but it didn't survive when I brought the Macariel out, so was partially a fail, but also a success, since I did get the Raven in the end. Now here we have one sneaky little boat. There was a Vigilant, but the Vigilant is moving around, and we're not sure what the Vigilant is trying to do. Are they trying to bait, or are they doing something else? We don't know. We're just waiting to see if that Vigilant will stop somewhere, and that's when we warp. Since I do warp a bit faster, I can do the initial tackle, and my friend can then do the DPS. Although I think starting to think what to do with the cells. I want to improve the DPS on this ship, and currently I don't have a lot of. Or, well, actually, I do have some options. What kind of general unit do I have on my barrage implant? I think I can get the barrage DPS a bit higher up. I can probably get an extra gyro stabilizer. Actually, no. I think I can improve the rigs on this ship. Although tier 4 rigs are quite expensive, but this is one expensive ship. And there is a lot of things that I can do. I did improve the DPS on the Macarial, but that's a battleship. So it's not that easy to lose. Actually, it can be easy to lose. Every ship can technically be easy to lose if you are not careful enough. I don't know, perhaps I'll give this ship tier 4 rigs. Haven't decided on that yet. Now here we have one Corax assault. Now this ship seems to be aligned somewhere. Yes, they seem to be aware that something is not right. I'm cloaked, so they couldn't see me. I think I'll have to get a better warping. Yeah, this is not a good warping, definitely. Let me see. I think the gate or the station or that anomaly there in front is the closest warping. There is no proper alignment. I'll just try this. I'll warp there and I'll land at about 20 kilometers or 10 kilometers. Actually, 10 kilometers seems to be the perfect distance. Yeah, 10 kilometers seems to be the perfect distance. Orbit at 0. The Rhone orbit is also set at 5 kilometers, I believe. Or around that number, depends on... Yeah, it is on 5, yeah. Okay. Should be on 5. That's the optimal orbiting distance for the offense heavy DPS drones. I call them heavy DPS drones. Well, technically, they're not heavy drones. Don't confuse them with heavy drones. They're medium drones, but with a lot of DPS. They're the faction drones that cost a couple kidneys that I bought specifically for this DPS Stratus because it does work really well in that aspect. You don't really need a lot of tank if your targets are usually long range ships. Where is the Corax? They are gone. Well, okay. I guess that they have a sixth sense working. Alright, well, let's go to the next target. We have a Drake. Okay, ship is ready. The battle mode is engaged. The battle mode does work really well
Warp drive active.
while you are approaching the target. The extra tracking that you get from it is absolutely impressive, absolutely insane. I noticed while I approach my target with the symbol, sometimes it starts missing. It's because of the micro warp speed. With this ship, that doesn't happen. With the cells, that doesn't happen in the battery mode because of the extra tracking, and that's what makes this ship so good. And it does spit out a lot of damage, since after all it is a ship that has the barrage implant, so it can take advantage of it. And that was a quick hit, warp in, kill, and warp out. Classic angel tactic, classic angel hit and run tactics. I like how the PvP build that I used 3 years ago is now one of the main PvP builds for most of these cruisers. I see the same PvP build everywhere, and I like it. I love it, to be more accurate. And a very solid loot drop. Juicy modules have been dropped. Alright, let's go to the next target. Now I have a criminal timer here, so
warp drive active.
We are going to go to the sun for the warping. I forgot what ship is the target. I think it's a battlecruiser, or might be something larger. Yeah, it is a battlecruiser. Okay, I know that because my friend is in a battlecruiser. We usually try to match and counter the target. That way, that's how you play Eve basically. You try to counter the target. But sometimes when I don't have the time, or when I have the timer, I can't really do that. So I have
Warp
to
drive
basically
active.
fly the ship that I'm currently flying. In this case, that's the Macariel. And this ship is technically a cruiser, so yeah, it does fall in that category. It's technically a cruiser, but you know, a very suspicious looking cruiser. Where is the ship? Well, they have warped out. Well, Sixth Sense. Again, I guess. Oh, and yeah, it's not Sixth Sense. They recognized me in local. Okay. You know, a lot of players told me, why don't I change my in-game name? Well, the main reason for that is I don't want to hide from you guys. I don't want to hide from anyone, honestly. If a content creator changes their name for the purpose of hiding from the viewers, I don't think that's really a nice thing to do. So I don't want to hide from anyone. I don't want to hide from you guys. So my name will never be changed. It's going to be the same one for
Warp drive active.
as long as the game is alive. So yeah, and I'm not going to play on some imaginary alts. All the alts that I have, you guys know. So you know that it's me, because I am not hiding from the viewers. That's not a very nice thing to do, honestly, when you think about it. And I actually like to fly with you guys. Like, a lot of you were super chill, and a lot of you were really happy to have a chance to fly with me in the game, and that also makes me happy because I know that I can make you guys also very happy.
Warp drive active.
Alright, let's go to the next. There was one ship here. Not really sure what it was. Oh, might be a bait. This might be a bait. And you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. If it's a bait, yeet it is. Now here you can basically see the phenomenal tracking of the battery mode while I was moving. Usually the symbol knows to miss, but this thing doesn't miss. And well, that Mahler got killed very quickly, and it turns out it wasn't a bait. I honestly thought that it were a bait. I hope that it was, but guess not. Oh well, let's warp out.
Drive active.
And let's cloak. Very curious to see the build of the Mahler. It did feel fairly tanky, but I might be wrong. I mean, the Mahler is the tankiest normal cruiser in the game, a very good ship in the right hands. 124 million, well, actually pretty solid. Kinda expensive actually, but it wasn't a PvP Mahler, it was a PvE one. Oh well, in any case, a good kill. And well, the last target for today will be a Dramiel, and this is the revelation. Well, decided to put that one in just for fun. After all, it's always funny to slap a small ship with a monster like the revelation, and that was a solid slap, a solid kill. And let's take a look at the kill. 294 million, a PvE anti-scan Dramiel, a solid catch. Well then, that was it for this little. Run for today. Honestly, had a lot of fun with that carrier. Kinda angry that I wasn't able to stay longer, but I'll do better next time, I guess. I didn't have a proper ship for that moment, and didn't expect one to pop in there. To be honest, it was pure luck that one of these ships actually popped in there. But in any case, was a very fun run. A very fun run today, honestly. Good teamwork, good kills, and we made some very nice ISK. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.